Adult and child life jackets located under the bench seats in the galley. Life raft and EPIRB located up on the roof on the right-hand side. Big white canister there. The throw ring in case of a man overboard deal is on the left-hand port side just after the head door. Fire extinguishers located throughout the vessel. The wheelhouse has one, the galley has one. 3 in the bunk room, 1 in the engine room. We also have an automatic fire suppression system here. Again, that's only in the event that you guys cannot make your way out of the main entrance to the bunk room there. There is handrails on that main entrance, one on either side there, guys. Make sure you guys use those when you're entering and exiting the bunk rooms. Last thing we need is for someone to fall down and get hurt. And that kind of puts a damper on the trip there.
Watch your head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, watch your head too. It's kind of a low.
Already hit twice.
Third time you'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
After that you'll be okay.
Lower.
Or you'll just keep running and you won't feel it one or the other. 2 heads located on board, 1 on either side of the cabin here, guys. A couple things about the heads. The toilets in there are continuous flow. You'll see a valve in the wall. Please don't touch that valve, just leave it open. If there is some sort of problem where there's either no flow or one of the toilets is clogged up or whatever, let a crew member know. We'll go ahead and take care of it for you. The other most important part about using these heads, guys, is latching the doors when you enter and exit the heads. Last thing we need is for one of those doors to be banging around, and either 1, get ripped off the hinge, or 2, having to deal with just listening to it. There'll be a crew member asleep at any given time on this trip right below the heads here. That's right where the crew sleeps, so we don't want to disturb, especially our nighttime guy. He's got to get us to and from the grounds. So make sure you guys latch the doors when you enter and exit the heads. Also, last thing, nothing foreign in the toilets there. If it came out of you and it's toilet paper, that's totally fine. No beer cans, no chicken wings, no I don't know, whatever other kind of weird shit you put down there.
Why are you looking at me? There's sometimes shit just falls out.
Hey, that's weird, man.
Been up there for a while.
Hey, that's cool. Like I said, nothing weird, guys. Nothing weird. Bodily functions. That's it with that stuff, guys, as far as fishing goes. I know when I talked to Sam earlier, we kind of talked about going bluefin fishing, but here's the program with that. The majority of that fish is all in the dark from, call it, midnight to 4 a.m. Unfortunately, we're not going to be there at those hours, not tonight or not tomorrow night. There has been a little bit of fish being caught during the day, but it's not for everyone. It's few and far between. And to be honest, going up there on a day-and-a-half trip just doesn't really work all that well. The grade of fish is absolutely beautiful. The weather's going to be nice up there, but I would much rather have you guys go home with something instead of, going out there and maybe catching 1 or 2 or 3 of those things. Be super bitching for the 1 or 2 or 3 guys that catches them, but the rest of you guys are going to be kind of bummed out, I think. So we're going to go down the beach, and we're going to fish for yellowtail and Dorado, maybe some yellowfin tuna. There has been a little bit of bluefin seen as well. The yellowtail that we've been catching has been anywhere from, call it, 8 to 30, 35 pounds. Yesterday we had, I would say, a third of our fish were 25 plus pounds. And we had a couple handfuls of that 8-pounder. Most of it was 12 to 16 pounds, 12 to 20 pounds. Absolutely beautiful grade of fish. The Dorado ranges anywhere from, say, 1.5 pounds up to about 15 pounds. And it's all mixed up, and there's no rhyme or reason. Some kelps are wedged up with them, and other kelps we don't see them at all. There's also been open water schools of these things where we'll see them up breezed up on the surface or flat spots, things like that. We'll troll through them, we'll get a strike, throw a couple baits, and every once in a while we'll get a few bait fish out of it as well. That tuna, same program. There's been breezers and foamers of that yellowfin kind of here, there, and everywhere. It doesn't bite all that well. Every once in a while we'll get lucky and snag a couple. There has been a little bit caught on kelps as well. As far as tackle goes, I would have a 40-pound outfit with like a 1/0 size hook, whether it's a J hook or a circle hook, it really doesn't matter. is probably going to be your best bet as far as something to start with. If you guys brought heavier line, maybe like some 50 or 60, have one of those rigged up with maybe like a 3.0 or a 4.0 size hook. Some of these kelps have been biting absolute nails. Throw a couple baits, this shit comes right to the corner and it's absolute mayhem. If we get on one of those kelps, I would highly suggest using the absolute heaviest string you guys got. Get them on and get them on quick. If you guys like to throw surface irons and cold snipers and things like that, stick baits, you guys are more than welcome to do so. The only thing we ask is that you guys keep it up the side or up on the bow here. Leave the stern for the guys fly lining their baits. It just makes things a little less hectic, and the guys fishing their baits don't have to worry about a guy wanting their lure right through their string.
Popper's been working?
Yeah, I think we caught some fish on poppers on the last trip. The other thing, guys, if we get on some of these schools of Dorado or we get on a kelp that's wedged with Dorado, I'm probably going to ask you guys to put the lures down. And I say that because those things like to jump. And the last thing we need is for a Dorado to jump, shake its head, and spit a lure back towards the boat. And one, end up in someone's arm, hand, face, chest, head, or in one of my windows or buried in the side of the boat. As fun as they are to catch on metal lures, it's super dangerous deal. So if we see a bunch of Dorado, I'll probably ask you guys to put the lures down. But other than that, on these kelps, feel free to fish the lures all you guys want. If you do happen to catch a Dorado or hook a Dorado on one, the only thing we ask is just keep your tip in the water or close to the water. Don't pull up. Just keep it low. That way, if it does spit it doesn't end up in someone's. A couple random Dorado here and there, a random yellowtail or a yellowfin here and there. We'll put 4 rods back there, and we just ask that any 4 volunteers go ahead and man those things and wind them up when we stop them. If we get to a point where we start seeing a lot of fish and they're eating the trolling lures, then we'll go into some sort of rotation. But we haven't caught a whole ton on the troll here in the last couple of weeks. That pretty much sums it up, guys. Like I said, we're going to be looking for kelps. Any and all kelp we'll stop on or at least take a look at, whether it's the size of a dinner plate or a 20-footer. All of these kelps have been hiding or holding fish. The other thing, when we stop, I'll tell you guys what side of the boat to fish on. And I normally put the kelp on the downwind side of the boat to where it drifts straight across our stern and upswell from there. If you guys find yourself on the side of the boat with the kelp, you're staring right at the kelp, you're dropping your bait on the kelp, you're on the wrong side of the boat. You want to be on the opposite end. Once we come up to these things, guys, those fish have already left the kelp and they were somewhere around the stern. They use that kelp as a home base type deal. It's where they get their bait, things like that. Once something comes up, they're super interested in the noise and they want to see what the hell's going on. So you'll see them right in the corner. If we get on the right one, you guys will see them right in the corner. They'll be darting around chasing baits and things like that. So drop your baits off the back end of the boat and up the windy side there. Mandatory that you guys keep your baits in front of you at all times. Follow your bait, follow your fish. Of course, the crew will do everything in their power to make sure that you guys are all worked out. And any tangles that happen, we will do our best to get them out and salvage your fish. But just make sure that you guys do your part as well. That's pretty much really it with the whole fishing thing. Does anyone have any questions thus far into it?
Is there...
Hey Jimmy, shut up. I'm trying to talk here.
We haven't even gotten all the way and you're already shot. Is there certain sizes of a cool sniper been working better than others, or doesn't matter the size?
120 grams, kind of in the sniper. That's just, and I think that's just because that's what we have on the boat. Color doesn't really matter. Size hasn't really been a factor either. Any other questions?
We're getting some sleep tonight?
I hope so. Weather's supposed to be super nice, guys. We're not gonna haul ass down there by any means because there's absolutely no reason to. We're not gonna be able to find a kelp until the sun comes up. So we're gonna just cruise down there. We're gonna go maybe 50 miles, something like that. It's not super far. We're gonna roll down there. We'll probably shut it down once we get in the area, and once the sun comes up and we're actually able to spot something, we'll get rolling again. That's pretty much it. Any other questions? All right, guys, last part of this, your crew. In the galley, you'll have Desi. He'll take care of anything you guys need to eat or drink. On deck, you've got Cody, Carlos, and Jeff. Your captains are Jake and myself. My name's Rick. Anything you guys need, please don't hesitate to ask. Once we're done getting bait here and we get out of here, the boys will be they'll be roaming around on deck helping you guys get rigged up or anything you guys need. Make sure you take advantage of that. Last thing we need is knots to come undone or drags aren't set correctly, wrong gear, things like that. Utilize the boys. They're here every day. They know exactly what's going on. They'd be more than happy to help. But other than that, we're going to finish getting our bait and get the hell out of here.
Did we get any anchovies?
I think there is a little bit of chovy.
Just kind of mixed in with it?
In the last box that we took here. I would fish the sardines, guys. I mean, that chovy's cool, but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't look all that bitchin', to be honest. This bait, that's another thing. This bait, we've been the entire fleet for the last couple months, we've really been struggling with getting decent bait. The stuff we got tonight actually looks fairly decent, better than we've seen here in a couple weeks. I don't know what it's gonna do throughout the night, but we're gonna do our best to make sure that it hangs tough and things like that. The one bonus is this kelp fishing's been that good to where it really hasn't made that big of a difference. The die-off kind of sucks because it's put us in a situation a couple of times where we've had to really, really watch it, but we're on a day and a half and we should have more than ample bait. I mean, the guys are throwing on 200 something swings of it, so we should have ample bait provided it doesn't all decide to kick the bucket on the way out. Sardines, nose hook, butt hook, shoulder hook, collar hook, breast hook have all been working just fine. It hasn't really made much of a difference how far away from the boat you are. If we drift off a kelp a ways, we have hooked some fish on the long soak, but if we're not hooking the stuff, we're probably going to get either back up to the kelp or on the move. That's one thing. When I tell you guys to wind them up, you guys got to wind them up fairly quickly because either one, we need to get back to that kelp for another round, or we need to get rolling and try to find another one. We have been, for the most part, if we start catching fish on a kelp, we'll hit these things a couple of times until we're satisfied with it, and then we'll go from there. You guys are allowed 5 yellowtail a piece on this trip and 2 Dorado a piece. Kind of the way it works, keep catching until we have the boat quota. Once the boat quota is met, then we'll go do something different. Look for other species of sorts, yellowfin or Dorado or bluefin or something like that. Yeah, and once we get that all squared away there, then we can do something different. We can go to Hong Kong or Adelita, things like that. Jimmy's house.
We'll only be really drop shotting, right, if we're on like a school of tuna that's deep.
Yeah, your fly line's going to be your program all day long. No sinkers, straight fly line, 40-pound. That's about it. You guys don't. If you guys have mono on your reels, I wouldn't even waste your time with fluorocarbon. If you have straight spectra and you want to put fluorocarbon on, that's fine. But this stuff, no fluorocarbon is needed whatsoever. If you like it for the abrasion resistance, then that's more than fine. But these yellowtail are dumber than a box of shit on these kelps, and they would probably eat this dock rope if it had a hook on it. So that's about it, guys. Any other questions? All right, well, we're gonna finish getting our bait and get out of here. Cool. See you guys in the morning.
There we go. Fresh one. Fresh one. Come on. Real yellow. Real yellow. Oh, feels like Dorado.
Yeah, Dorado, there you go. Ah, Dorado.
Who's this? Down.
Go underneath. Go underneath. Go
Under.
down. Go to the left.
Hey, push your rod down. Rod down. Corner, corner, corner.